Hello everyone, this is Victor. This is my Marketing 451 Sports Business Analytics final project. I'm going to discuss about the changing trend of NBA basketball and the missing art of mid-range in the past few years. Let us recall the movie Coach Carter. There was a scene that Mr. Cruz was running a fast break. He decides to take a three instead of driving an easy layup. That's exactly the face what the coach face looks like. And I believe if you actually know and play basketball, at least in my era, you should be on the same page with me. And your coach will bench you right after that ridiculous play. When Jordan was a rookie, he relied on his physical strength and vertical to do dunks and flashy layups. However, the Pistons find a way to stop Jordan is to block the paint. When he drives into the paint, they will just foul Jordan and he cannot score easily. Then he developed his most lethal weapon, the mid-range shot. Now they have to guard him outside the paint as well. It creates space for his teammates and another way to trick his opponents. We all remember every clutch shot by Jordan is mid-range. The shot on Elo against the Cavs, the shot against Russell for his sixth ring. In his prime time, mid-range is the best way to score other than free throws. We can see that the game of basketball has changed dramatically. In the 70s, we remember the Jabbar's hook shot, the 80s, the mid-range jump shots by Jordan, Kobe's fadeaway in the 90s, AI's crossover. They all have their signature moves and their way to score the basket. Each era, kids will try to copy their favorite stars and learn their moves. But Stephen Curry, he changed our understanding in the game of basketball and how we view three-point shots right now. As one of the best shooters in the NBA history, we cannot leave him any open opportunity or he'll just sink the ball in the basket. Nothing but net. So why is NBA players taking more threes now than before? Are they good at shooting now than the players before, or is there other reasons influence this trend? Personally, I would argue both. They have better training equipment and shooting coaches, but I believe the science and math actually influence this decision. And we have to dive into the philosophy of memory ball. In this theory, after the calculation and statistics, science shows that taking three-point shot is way more efficient and have more positive impact in a game of basketball than taking twos. How are you going to win the game? Score more points. After we plug everything in the statistic test, we can see that there is a high value of R squared and a low value of P value. This means that our finding is really reliable and solid. We can see that if we try to score more points, taking three is definitely better than taking twos. And through the chart, we can see the average points per shot. The highest one is around the paint area, close to the rim, and the second one, surprisingly, is the three-point territory, then the mid-range area. The mid-range shot was already slowly in decline, but after the Golden State Warriors, known for their three-point shooting, won the championship in 2015, shot selection shifted towards long range. Mid-range more rapidly declined. Sometimes some teams took it to another extreme, like the Rockets, and some teams changed slower, like the Spurs. But in the end, everyone adapted to the current change. It makes sense when you look at the chart, look at the simple math of mid-range versus the three-point shot. You get more points for three-pointers, so you can make fewer of them and still earn enough points than if you were to shoot mostly mid-range. This was the last year Houston Rockets starting lineup. They trade their best rim protector, Clint Capella, away and formed a Houston not-so-runners team. They released the space for Westbrook to drive to the rim and for James Harden to play isolation and hit his step-back three. Mike D'Antoni wants them to play small, and PJ Tucker often has to face opponents that's 5 feet taller than him. They jack up more threes than any other team in the league, but the efficiency of the shot not quite as much as the Warriors. So why Golden State is successful is that they hold two of the best shooters in the league and Kevin Durant, the scoring machine. What's more is that Durant's mobility can let him switch between defenders and still produce great defensive quality on the court. As three-point trend continue to develop, more and more teams love to play small and everyone is taking the threes. So is it the way play small actually the end of traditional centers area? Or they find another way to survive in the league? We used to see center like Dwight Howard gets into the paint and do post moves or like power play to score, but now we see center developing three-point abilities to dominate the court. They stretch from the paint area to mid-range or the three-point man. I have great examples like Kristaps Porzingis, Anthony Davis, and Ben Adebayo. What makes Ben special is that his defensive ability. His quickness is like a small forward, but he can defend and protect the rim like a traditional center, while also lethal outside the paint area. So is it taking mid-range shot that bad? I believe if that's the case, DeMar DeRozan will lose his job. He's the last vestige of the art of mid-range. In his arsenal, he'll post up, use his footwork to create space, and hit the mid-range shot. His shot's more mid-range than three-pointer last season and still produced an average 20 points per game based on his shot selections without three-pointers. Another example is Ben Simmons. He didn't necessarily take any threes in the game, but can still effectively score based on his floater and hook shot. My best demonstration is the series of Kawhi and Giannis. I sat there watch the Raptors carve the Bucks up by playing Jordan Rule on Giannis the whole series. We all know that Greek Freak is a monster in the paint area. However, in that series, whenever he tries to enter the paint, Raptors players will just double him up. He cannot shoot any mid-range or no like three-point ability. When he's outside the paint, they don't guard him. And for Kawhi, he can create the space effectively and drain his mid-range shot at ease. So in conclusion, like players should optimal shot distribution based on the defense. Number one, long twos are not good because it is too close to the three-point line and they can just take the threes. And those shots are only taken in desperation. And for accurate mid-range shots, they are good. They're actually beneficial to the team because 50% of mid-range are still above average in half court. And lower percentage, yeah, they may have value against the shot clocks. As the shot clock expires, like your ball will hit the rim and like reset the clock. And one of the most important point is that mid-range shots have the meta game value. It opens up drive for like free throw chances, and it demands help from paint or perimeter. Then you can find your teammates with an open spot, like the Spurs, how they play their beautiful game. And that's all my presentation. Thank you.